Whew. Right, let's get down to this. This was supposed to be a little review in a video about my new Insta360 Ace Pro I was really excited to make. I've had it for 2 weeks, been playing with it, but guess what? I broke it. So let's take a look at how that happened, and interesting lesson that I learned whilst doing that. I was out a couple of days ago, or a few days ago now, looking at different angles at this camera, feeling pretty happy with myself, thinking those shots are quite good. Only issue is I hadn't put it on properly. Insta360 has a quick release thing. It's magnetic, clips on, does all of that. I hadn't clipped that on properly, and luckily it hangs on because it's a magnet. But this selfie stick locks and unlocks with a twist. And as we see in the footage, as I twist it to unlock it to bring it down because I'm being cocky on my bike, riding no-handed, it pops off, hits the ground, and we're in a whole world of pain. So I've just stopped the video there at the point at which this camera hits the ground. But it's at this point where this was going to be a video originally about a review of this, whilst also talking about my plans for the year on the bike and adventures, but also once I broke it, this was going to be a story about fixing it. Very simple. But as I watch back the footage, we're about to see the lesson that I've learned from this whole experience. But before I do that, if you're already through this video and you got to this point, thank you very much. Please, like all creators, could you please like and subscribe to my channel, as it's real help, and I really like to grow it, and I like to bring you along with my journey of learning to make YouTube. So, on to the bit. I've had to write this down to really put it into words, the moment we're about to see and why it has had such a profound effect on me and a realization. So, I'm not seen as an angry person by most people who know me. I'm never angry at other people, but those closest to me, they know that there's an anger in there. They've seen it. And that is an anger that is at myself. And whenever I fuck up, I get very angry at myself. When I break things by accident, when accidents happen, I'm very unforgiving of myself. And in the little bit of footage you're about to see, this is the first time I'm about to see this in third person.
God, I hope that's not broken.
Oh no! Bollocks! Now we've seen what I don't like sharing with people, that instant overreaction to what truthfully is, in the grand scheme of things, a minor inconvenience. A broken lens cover, few scratches on the camera. That's it really. But in that moment, that anger was entirely at myself. Just had to let it out, scream. And what I've now seen is how ugly that is and how scary that is for other people. And that's not the kind of energy you want to put out into the world. So what I don't show now is the ride home from that. So after this happened, I turned it off, stuffed it into my pocket, got on my bike. All I wanted to do really was go home, but I'd gone out for a ride as well. It was the first nice day of the spring, first time I was in shorts, just shorts and jersey. So like that, but I was seething inside, as you can see from that short clip. So what I wanted to do, can't get my footage, can't just get on the bike, ride as hard as you possibly can, try and put that anger into something positive. So I did, jumped on the bike, dropped onto the hoods, dropped into an aero position and tried to ride around the rest of the loop as fast as possible. Yeah, so I did that. And the whole time I was riding along, I was just saying really mean things to myself in my head. Like, what the fuck did you do that? What? I do that, and I think if you are an angry person, and if you're angry at yourself more than anyone, I think maybe lots of us have experienced this. You just really get annoyed at yourself. And at the end of the day, this is a really small inconvenience. It's just a camera. I hadn't fallen off. I was absolutely fine. So as I carried on riding, these angry thoughts get going through my head, and I could recognise they were there. I could see they were there. So I started to think, oh, come on, Dan, this is a bit silly now. let's try and calm down a bit. So after riding for 15 minutes as fast as I could, that did help get that heart rate, turn that very high angry heart rate into something useful and make that heart rate do what's supposed to be at that high and push out watts on the bike. I sat up, rolled along, pulled the camera out, had a look. The most important thing that I wanted to check was that it still worked, and the camera still works, which is good. The lens is a little bit starry. It's quite a cool effect in some ways. Might use that in the future, but it worked. That was fine. Nothing else was broken. It was just the lens cap. And then when I looked at it, I realized it was just the lens cap. One of the things that I was most annoyed about though is that because this is so Insta360, if you buy a new camera, they do a year's basic warranty where they replace that lens cap free of charge, no questions asked, regardless of what they do. They want you to use it, they want it to be bashed around, get good footage, all of those things. I bought my second hand from MPB. Great service. I really recommend anybody buy camera equipment second hand. Much cheaper. MPB's quality is always amazing, comes with a 6-month warranty, but guess what? That's not warranty. So I thought, okay, so what I'm gonna have to do when I get home is the camera works, we just need to replace the lens. Let's email Insta360 and see what happens. So fast forward to getting in through the door, jumping straight on my phone, emailing away, doing that, send it off. Obviously, this was at 7 o'clock at night, so not going to hear anything. So I'm sat there thinking, okay, I've done something. It's not as bad as it is. I need to calm me down a little bit, and we can get on with the rest of the day. So I'm sat there and then the brain starts whirring away. It's like, oh, I want this fixed. I'm really annoyed. I'm going to have to send it away. I'm not going to have it for ages. I'm going to have to pay for it. All of those annoying thoughts that come through your head when you break something. And I jumped, as you do, back onto my phone, back onto the web, started searching how to replace that filter. And turns out it's actually quite easy. Whilst if you have a new one, do that. Doing this yourself will void your warranty. As it's second hand and there's no warranty, not a problem. So what I did is I've put those away. I'll get them out. So one of the things that I had been thinking about anyway when I bought this camera is ND filters. And I found out that you can just change the lens cap, and it is to put the ND filter on, you actually just change the lens cap, comes with a tool. So I got this A magazine from Amazon. They were not very expensive. I think they were like £21 or something. And I decided, let's go with that, give it a try. Worst thing is I break it even more, send it back to Insta, they'll fix it, I pay for it. What's the worst that happens? So let's have a look at these and see what they're like. They came in a set of 4, ND 8 to 64, so 4 stops of, but they came with this little tool here that makes it really easy to change. So let's go through it. It's so simple to change them. You take this little tool, you pop it on top, twist anti-clockwise, the original lens comes off. Pick your filter, pop it on, twist it on. And brilliant, they work. Right, so a bit colder than a couple of days ago, but back, camera's back working. The ND filter's working nicely, just stop washing out that light a little bit, and I'm very happy. So let's get on, have a look at some shots that I was going to try, and let's see how it goes. So that's it, that's the video. It was supposed to be a review of a new camera, some chatting about what I'm going to do on the bike, but accidents happen, and from accidents, sometimes you get something better. This time, I learned a little bit about myself that I kind of already knew, but got brought into stark realization on film. And actually, it was a good lesson in this whole vlogging YouTube journey that I'm on, that things will never go to plan, things will break, things won't work because you think they will, accidents will happen, but sometimes it's those accidents and moments that lead to much better things. So going forward, I'm going to embrace everything that this little YouTube project throws at me and see how I can turn the bad into something interesting and hopefully something shareable. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please subscribe and like the video, all of the usual things. Thanks again. See you next time.